All right, welcome everybody to Airlock After Dark number I'm starting to forget, which is probably a good sign. It's our last Airlock After Dark of 2025, so we had to make it a special one. You guys know the drill. I don't think anybody here doesn't know the drill. We're gonna have a good time. We've got a superior guest with us today, and he's celebrating something big. He just got his 4th degree on his black belt, which is insane. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that after we do some drilling, but I'm gonna pass it over to this guy, Travis Joyner. Welcome, thanks for being here. It's all yours, brother.
All right. Super excited to be here. So I've known Ray for a long time. We've trained together for a long time. We've taught together, been around the scene in Austin, and ever since he's opened his gym, I've been wanting to come out here and roll, and this was a perfect opportunity to come out and meet everyone, share some technique with y'all, so I'm really happy to be here. I'm going to show you a couple things that I use in my game that I've had a lot of success with that I think will be useful for you. Adam, can I borrow you? This guy works with me, so he's used to me choking him and strangling him.
Sure.
So we're going to do kind of a front headlock series. We'll start with just kind of one of the chokes I've had a lot of success with. This is one I learned at like blue belt from Hollis Gracie. And I've used it from blue to black, no-gi, gi, lots of different types of competition. I've had a lot of success with it. So we'll start with the choke, and then we'll talk about some variations or some problem-solving, things like that. So from a, kind of basic front headlock situation, whether he shot a takedown or he's trying to wrestle up from side control or whatever the situation is, basics here, one knee is down, one knee is up. I'm kind of settling my weight on the back of this person. We could have a lot of different variations as far as underhooks and overhook. The main thing I'm looking to do is shoot one of my arms in for a head and arm type situation. So my weight is settled. I'm controlling his tricep. Maybe I have a chin strap. Maybe I've just sprawled from here. I'm going to shoot over and kind of shift my weight. And then I'm going to lock a gable grip from here. We're probably all familiar with a gable grip. We come here or we come here, and then we lock that grip. Now, I kind of want to use that gable grip to start collapsing his tricep in towards his body. And when I go to apply this choke, right as I go to sit, I'm going to switch my grip. So I have a palm to palm or a gable grip. I'm just going to rotate it over, and I'm kind of finding the notch of my wrist right there, and I'm grabbing a hold of that. I'm going to do a baseball slide type motion as I pull this arm across, and I sit next to him. Okay? Now, if I have a guillotine on this side, which way does he probably want to run around to get out of it? Right? If he circles around, gets to side control, problems for me, right? So our leg positioning here, and I've kind of eased up so I don't choke him out while I'm talking to y'all. So I'm going to slide one shin across his hips, and the other shin is going across his body. So from that front headlock position, I get my gable grip, I collapse that arm in a little, I switch my grip, and then I'm sliding in. I'm hooking his hip, and my other foot is going over the top. Now, the finishing mechanics of this are a little different from a normal guillotine because I don't want his head to pop out. So I'm not like pulling back and stretching him out like we would with some guillotine variations. So when I get my grip, I collapse that arm, I switch, I sit. I kind of want to crunch in towards my partner that direction. So y'all can see what I'm doing. I have that grip from my gable grip. I rotate over, I slide onto my side. I'm pulling that up. I'm kind of putting a little pressure in on that arm that's on his side of the neck. And then I'm crunching my body in as opposed to trying to stretch him out. So one more time before we kind of hit on like setups and some other things. We'll just start here in a front headlock. Come over, get a gable grip, clear the arm, switch your grip, sit, lock your grip, and squeeze for the finish. So this is a head and arm choke, but it's more like an arm triangle. So you're actually using that shoulder muscle on the carotid artery on one side, and your bicep is on the other. You're forcing those 2 points together, crunching in, locking their hips so they can't jump around. Questions on this? All right, let's give it a try. Get a partner. 1, 2. Y'all do the 1, 2 clap or the 1, 2, 3? It's just, all right, it's different. People fight fights over that. Like, no, it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now for this one, if you can get that leg, like a high elbow guillotine, you'd block that arm. This one, you're coming kind of around behind it so that that shin is coming more to his hip. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Crunch, squeeze. Nice.
Okay, good.
Make sure those mechanics are there. Yeah, and you're kind of just pushing that in, crunching it down to your hip, and like crunching in for the finish. There you go.
Last me like that, and you need to extend me out. So like pull me out that way, with toward you. Yeah. So pull me out, and now you can switch that grip. Go to like a wristwatch grip. Grab your wrist and now just slide. You want to like kind of slide in. Put this against my hip.
Yeah, get that so a little higher. You want to like hook the outside of his hip with your foot so he can't jump around. There you go. Nice.
It's tight when you fell.
Yeah, when you like slide in and sink it, it tightens it up. So come back, do that one more time.
Yep.
So you got your gable grip, nice. Claps that arm over, switch. Yep, sit. Now, yeah, there you go. You have the grip right.
What was that? Okay.
I think last time you were palm up, which it could work, but it's just a stronger pull if that top arm, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't, are you palm up or palm down? Yeah, so if you can turn that one palm down, just because it gives you a little more of a blade against the wrist. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's just like that sharper part against the neck. Yeah, if you're feeling brave and you want to practice it on both sides, we all have a dumb side with everything, so. Yeah.
After you like come in, push this gable grip. I guess I didn't see the grip. Are you just literally?
Yeah, so like depending on how you have it, basically I'm just rotating over the top. If I have it like that, that's normally how. But if I have this, same idea. I'm just rotating over the
In
top.
this kind of position.
Yeah, that's what you want for the finish.
Okay. So we're coming in here. Slide
Yeah, and if you can get that foot, like your knee pointed down and that foot up, it's really going to kind of lock his hips in and make it hard for him to jump around. All right, bring it in, bring it in. Let's talk about some details here. So from this front headlock situation, you know, y'all probably all have some guillotines you've learned or like. There's arm in, there's arm out, there's a ton of different variations. The key to the arm in, again, a lot of it's going to be getting, for this one specifically, that arm, you know, close to his body. If his arm is really wide and it's out right, kind of like how he would defend against most head and arm chokes, he kind of keeps this space open. So if I have that kind of front headlock situation, I have the gable grip, a couple things to think about. You know, if I'm bigger and stronger, maybe I can just muscle that arm across. But from this position, I do want weight on him, right? I'm driving him down into the ground. I have a good base. I don't want him to be able to wrestle up, grab my leg. So I do want weight on him. But the issue is when my weight is really driving down on him, it can be hard to collapse that arm across. So kind of two details, because having this arm out, you know, is going to make it easier for him to defend and do a lot of different things. So when I have that grip, when I want to push that arm across, I want to make sure I kind of lift up briefly, right? So I take his weight off of that. I see a lot of people trying to clear it from here, and all his weight is on that elbow, especially if I'm sprawled on top of him. So I do want that good sprawl. I do want that good pressure. But when I go to do this, I'm going to lift, and then that allows me to clear that arm. The second thing is, again, leverage. The higher I am on the arm, the harder it is going to be to do this. So I have good control up here, but when I lift that arm, if I can kind of slide down and pull that thing across, once I switch my grip, I'm kind of stretching him out, and I'm sliding and locking this in and finishing. So we'll start in this same front headlock. We'll get our gable grip. We have our weight on him, good pressure. But as I go to clear this arm, let's make sure we're pulling him up. If we need to, drop our grip down, clear, reset it, switch our grip. Let's turn this way so they can see. This way, please. A little more. Not here, not there. So here, I have my gable grip. When I want to clear this arm, I'm lifting him up, dropping my grip, pulling it across, switching. It's a combination of me sliding, pulling him off balance, and really setting in the choke. Questions on that? All right, 1, 2. That was good.
I can't get it. But lift the thing right there, then swing. So that's what you pull it back. If you lift and don't move your finger, keep your grip in. That's great. You don't want to be wide here. You're not collapsing. Crack. Yeah. And then bring that grip down. Like you have like a game. And then I'm wide. I'm not going to have it. So you have to lift me up. And then collapse. Bring that grip up flat. And then bring that grip.
No fighting that.
His arm's short enough, it like got caught on the mat. I know, dude. I finally got some of the same size. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
And you pull it back.
It was an okay, but not as good.
gonna fight it. I'm gonna fight it on this one. You gotta tap me, real.
Yeah, that's how you know it's a good one.
I had to really go for it.
No, you're fine. You're supposed to be nasty.
It felt different once you crunched in.
So once you clear my arm, drive that all the way through and over here.
Almost like a little
Yep,
side
exactly.
curve. I think really is what made me like the show.
You're just so trapped too.
You know what though? You know how I was telling you that I don't do a lot of using my shoulder? This particular one doesn't make my shoulder hurt.
Yeah.
So that's good. Right? If I'm really like super, that's not like your head. It is something different. So I put it in. I tasted water, so I put it in.
I mean, if you can make it work with a palm up grip, like the mechanics are still there. I just feel like,
It's way better though.
yeah, I just feel like, yeah, you have a little more of that inward push. Because here it's kind of, you can kind of pull this way really hard. This one kind of makes it easier to force that arm across the neck. Yeah, now you all have our habits.
I don't want your hands. Once you pull me up, I want your hands to stay on this side of my arm. Like that, there, yeah. I lift you up and I keep my hands in the middle. You can probably just pull your elbow down, right? Yeah. But if I'm pulling you up now, roll, and I block it, and I pull you up. That's the difference, okay? So if my hands are too far in the middle, your hands are right here. But if I block here, I keep my lock kind of touching the tricep. You're never gonna be that.
All right, time. Bring it in. All right, so guillotines in general, I like them, but there's pros and cons to every technique, every approach. If you're using guillotines, you can kind of use them defensively or reactively, meaning someone's trying to shoot a double, a single, go after your legs, right? A guillotine, or sometimes even the threat of guillotines can make people abandon their takedown, or you can use that potentially as a submission to end the fight. But if you don't get it right, it's kind of considered a late takedown defense for a reason, because I kind of have to commit to it. If I'm trying to defend a takedown with it and I commit to the guillotine, I end up on bottom, right? Maybe not the end of the world, just grappling. If this is a fight or MMA, someone's on top of me, they can hit me. So I really like this version for a couple reasons. Like, if y'all have seen the, just a traditional head and arm guillotine, meaning I have the head and the arm, and man, some people are like really, really good at these. Once they get that head and arm, like Renzo Gracie is pretty famously like really good at getting that head and arm guillotine. But if I go for like a traditional head and arm and we end up on my back, right, and he's able to pop his head out, like, man, he's got a deep underhook on me, maybe we're in half guard, maybe he starts to pass, but like I end up in not the best position to fight out from. I'm underneath him, he usually has a strong underhook. So with this version, especially if you're kind of on your side, you know, if I do all this cool stuff and I'm here, like usually if I realize I can't finish the guillotine, I don't have the right grip, my partner's just defending well, whatever, usually like worst case, I can kind of just wrestle up back from here. Because if you look at it, I'm not really like underneath him, I'm more on his side really. And I'm on my hip as opposed to being flat underneath him. So worst case scenario, I'm working this, I realize I'm not getting it, and I can kind of wrestle back to a front headlock. But if I know that I'm not going to get it, and I know his escape is probably to free his head from there, then I'd rather get to a dominant position rather than just fight back to kind of a front headlock. So if you look at this position where I end up here, and I've committed to it, I'm on my side, I'm not really underneath him. Again, if his head pops out and I just hang out here, right, he's probably going to end up on top of me. I'm trying to fight guard retention, things like that. So if you look at the position, if his head pops out, like I'm in an arm drag position basically. So I really like this variation because for me, if I go for it and I don't get it, kind of worst case is usually I fight back up to a scramble or to neutral, but a lot of times I can get the back if I'm not able to finish the choke. So what we're doing there is, you know, just keep a loose grip so we're not killing our partner. Do the reps very slow so you can see. But I realize once the crown of his head pops above my bicep there, I'm not going to get the finish from here. So that grip, I'm just switching to like an arm drag. I already have that deep grip in the tricep. I'm using this top leg to kind of kickstart, generate momentum. Once I do that, this backhand is looking to come over. I'm looking to come up to like side turtle, referee type position. From here, we can go into a lot of different things. So we start with our front headlock. We clear it. We sit, our partner pops their head out, they posture up, drag, switch your grips. I'm going one knee down, mirroring his leg over here, the other knee is up. As a driving point, I have chest to back pressure across his back. I like to make the kind of spiral ride position right here. I'm behind this arm, and then we have a lot of options from here. One more time. I get my front headlock. I do my good work, I lift, I clear, I sit. Maybe I lost it in transition. Sit, wrestle up, take the back. Questions on this? All right, give it a try. 1, 2. I've had a headache for like 2 days. Yeah.
Are you drinking enough water?
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, that's like the first indicator, but
So yeah, be careful leaving that near leg too close to him when you pop up. So like you're kind of kicking, shooting that leg out and dragging it back a little, just so you know he doesn't get a single or something while you're trying to transition. Oh, thanks. It's served me well.
It fits right in some stuff that I do from the front.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, it's one of the variations I've tried lately that doesn't make my
Yeah.
injury hurt. So it's like, cool, this is good for me.
Yeah, it's a little bit different mechanics than a lot of the Yeah, just that strain on your shoulders. Nice. 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 Just use that top leg more as like that kickstart.
Okay.
It's not a lot of momentum, but just kind of kicking your leg in that direction as you're pulling is going to just get your momentum going. You know, because it's the battle of getting higher than his hips, right? You're trying to get your chest to his back. He's probably going to be trying to wrestle and adjust too. So the more momentum you can get up and kind of turn over quickly, the better your chance of securing that.
And what about the sit through?
Sit through look good, yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear.
And like we're being nice to each other, right? Obviously, y'all are doing it slow. When you kind of just snap someone and like dive in, it sinks it pretty quick.
Okay.
Nice.
What am I doing with the arm? We're just holding it.
Show me. So when you're kind of losing the head, you mean?
Yeah.
So clear that bottom leg. Yeah, put the bottom leg across his hip. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, once you hit there, your right hand that was kind of being grabbed, you're just finding that tricep as high as you can, and you're kind of dragging that as you kick and turn your hips over. Yeah, there you go. So you're just kind of, and that kind of anchors him down. The same idea, right? If he's trying to get up or wrestle up, you're putting that strong anchor on his upper body, kind of pulling his weight down while you're getting up higher than him.
Okay.
All right, so one more little quick detail for this. Again, it's one of those things you can hit it from a couple different positions. Especially if you like snap downs and you're used to kind of coming around, you know, and working from these type situations. If I'm going to get a seatbelt, right, most of the time, y'all agree, I'm probably coming this way. Just like if I want to start attacking the rear naked choke, it's probably coming across here rather than putting myself in this type of situation, right? So sometimes in gi, sometimes in no gi, but if I'm fighting to get my arm across here, if I'm trying to sink a choke or a bulldog choke or just trying to set a seatbelt, this person will kind of like start locking their elbow to their tricep here because he's blocking me from getting a seatbelt. He's blocking me from doing that. So this same setup, sometimes I get from the back, meaning I'm here. Y'all already know the technique. He's worried about this near arm, getting around his neck, setting up a seatbelt. If I'm fighting this and he's doing that, I can just switch right back to that, right? So again, you know, from his mindset, we're thinking defensively, this person's on my back. I need to be blocking hooks. I need to be blocking the seatbelt. I need to be thinking about how to recover guard. They kind of know the angles they need to block to protect their neck. So it works pretty well because, you know, his defensive mindset right now is based off back attacks, right? I'm not in a front headlock situation. He's worried about all those different things and what he's doing. So if he's blocking that off and, you know, I can't get my seatbelt or get a good grip, I'm just throwing that over, diving, and then locking up that same choke. So give it a couple reps, just kind of starting from that side turtle referee position. Your partner's defending, you getting the hooks or getting your seatbelt in, getting a rear naked choke in. Just come over the top, lock your hands, and then slide into that same position. Make sense? Yes, sir. All right, let's try it. 1, 2. Giving all my secrets away. My voice is unlabored. Let's say you get that out. Now you come back up, you're trying to build up. If you do that, man, I'm going to take it out. So get back, here you go, build up.
Sober as hell.
You're looking exposed on that side. Yeah. On my back. So let's say we go back. So let's say, okay, get that on the back. Now it doesn't. So we're here, you're trying to fight, you're not letting me. Yeah, definitely.
You want to go, Travis? Bring him in.
Yeah.
All right, bring it in, have a seat. I hear enough coughing, it tells me we're probably all set.
That's how you know the choke's effective.
Yeah, for real. All right, we need to get some knowledge. First of all, let's give a hand to Travis. That was awesome. I want to get some of your knowledge here. Usually I ask how long people been doing jiu-jitsu for. We were trying to do some math outside, what a 4th degree black belt is, which if you are not familiar, or if you're on the live stream, that's an indicator of how long you've had a black belt for. And 4 is a crazy amount. So what was our math again? How long?
I think so. I think I've been a black belt for 14 years now.
And when did you start doing jiu-jitsu or martial arts in general?
So I started martial arts as a kid. You know, jiu-jitsu wasn't around in where I was at, but you know, I did taekwondo as a kid, like a lot of other people, karate, taekwondo. So you know, I started martial arts very young. Loved all the 80s, kung fu, karate, Steven Seagal, until I found out he wasn't real. And, you know, loved all that growing up, loved martial arts. Kind of took a break, you know, through high school, did some other things, played some other sports. And then shortly thereafter, I got back into it. You know, I started kind of doing more stand-up kickboxing stuff, had a background in that, doing boxing. And, you know, I decided like, hey, this UFC stuff, I'm watching that. And these people that are good at striking, you know, they keep getting taken down to the ground and people are holding them down. Like, I just want to learn enough to like not get taken down, how to get back to my feet. And then I was like, well, I really like this stuff more. So it turned into a little, you know, couple decades detour of getting a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and, you know, just really fell in love with that and grappling in general, all the grappling arts. And here we are today.
Nice. I know you do a lot of training with law enforcement, and we have some law enforcement in the room. What's the reason for you there? What got you into doing that?
So I was very fortunate that before I, you know, started a career in law enforcement, I was already training jiu-jitsu, I was fighting, I'd done stand-up, you know, I had a martial arts background, and just the benefit that it gave to me. And yes, like obviously you use grappling to control people or take people down. You know, there's the physical side of it, and that was obviously very beneficial to me, just knowing how to control another human being. And to be able to do that safely, you know, I think that keeps me safe. I think that keeps other people safe. But just the mental side of it, you know, in jiu-jitsu, you're put in bad positions. It's terrible, right? You have someone on top of you smothering you. And, you know, through training, that becomes normal. You become accustomed to that. And just your ability to deal with stressful situations is really where, you know, compared to some of my peers that didn't have a background or any type of training, you know, maybe they weren't military or anything like that, I would just find myself, you know, we'd be in similar situations and I could just see their stress level was a lot higher. When your stress level's higher, your decision making is more difficult, you make worse decisions. So just the ability to kind of maintain calm and rationally think through problems under stress. I mean, that's what jiu-jitsu is, right? You're doing something physical, but you're also problem solving under stress. And you're doing it against another human, right? Which is the ultimate test. This person is trying to counter every single thing I'm doing. So the value of just having that skill set, having the ability to problem solve under stress, to remain calm and think my way through difficult situations has been just immensely beneficial to me in my career.
Very nice. Here's my fun one for you. If you could fight anybody, alive, dead, fictional, who are you fighting? And what submission are you bringing to the table?
All right, so is this a grappling match or is this a fight?
You pick it.
All right, because, you know, I like look at people like Khabib, right? I'm like, man, I'd really like to grapple him just because I've never had someone that size. Like, you know, I watch him hold down people in training that are like, you know, huge. And I'm like, how does he do that? Now, I don't want to get in a cage where he can push me up against the fence and elbow me in the face. Like, I know exactly what that would feel like. Man, there's so many, you know, obviously Rickson Gracie, like to have the ability to ever roll with him, you know, in his prime. He's always been someone, you know, throughout the jiu-jitsu community, you know, any of the Machado brothers in their prime, the Gracies, Kano, you know, hey, you invented judo, let's put a gi on and see what we can do there. Those would probably be towards the top of my list.
Very nice. I love how our guests always pick someone that scares the shit out of me. My God, what is that? All right, I love it. Okay, What else do I need to keep in mind here? So yeah, last Airlock After Dark of 2025, you guys. Thanks for being a part of it in this year. We will be bringing it back in the new year, of course, because I think everybody loves it. First one's going to be on the 8th, I want to say, because like Thursday is New Year's Day. So the first one will be the 8th. We got a great guest coming for that one. The lineup's solid, so be there. Do not miss it. Anything else I'm missing? Let's get a quick pick. Thursday Night Jiu-Jitsu next week. We're all going to be there. Get your tickets. That's why we're not having one next week. So Thursday Night Jiu-Jitsu, Zane's fighting a bunch of other people. Get out to Austin. Let's go watch that together. We'll go as a big group, whatever. Anything else? Okay, congratulations to all our promoted people. That's a big deal. Let's thank Travis. Let's get a picture. Let's get out of here.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming.
Cosmic Rolling on the way. Bye.